Hello and welcome to the Mosaic International South Asian Film Festival presented by the Canadian Community Arts Initiative CCAI. My name is Arshad Khan and I'm the festival director. With me today is festival programmer Shaila Khan. Hello Shaila.
Hi, Arshad. Nice to be here on this lovely chilly morning.
And
I'm
what
excited to
and what an
meet
exciting
everyone.
exciting date. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Oh, am I not
But
supposed to say excited?
this happens when you are doing Q&A and it's when you're doing these sessions. But yes, we are both very excited to have the fantastic team for the Film Intezaar waiting. Starting with we'll introduce first of all the fantastic director Sakina Samo. Hello Sakina, welcome.
Thank you, Archa. Thank you for having me and having my team over there. Um, yeah, I mean, we are happy to be here.
Please introduce your film team to us.
Okay. सबसे पहले समीना अहमद साहिबा. समीना मेरी दोस्त भी हैं और प्राइड ऑफ परफॉर्मेंस उनको मिला हुआ है और रिनाउंड हैं पाकिस्तान में और बाहर भी, और शी इज फैंटास्टिक एक्ट्रेस. तो इनका बड़ा साथ था फिल्म के लिए, तो इसीलिए मेरे लिए तो सब इम्पोर्टेंट है, सब एक ही जितने हैं, सब ने दिल से ही काम किया है. फिर कैफ हैं, कैफ सबको मालूम है, शी इज वेरी टैलेंटेड, और कैफ से बेहतर इंतजार का ये कैरेक्टर कोई भी नहीं कर सकता था, मैं भी नहीं, अगर मैं उसकी उम्र में होती तो आई थिंक जैसे उसके लिए लिखा गया था, हालांकि उसके लिए नहीं लिखा गया था, लेकिन लगता ऐसे है कि जैसे ये कैफ के लिए लिखा गया था और खालिद साहब के लिए लिखा गया था. खालिद साहब को जहन में रखा हुआ था बीगुल ने. खालिद अहमद साहब हमारे बहुत रिनाउंड अगेन एंड बहुत ही सीनियर, अच्छे, पढ़े लिखे, सभी पढ़े लिखे लेकिन ये है कि खालिद साहब की जो वो फिलॉसफी है मुझे बड़ी अच्छी लगती है कि लेस इज मोर. तो वो कम बोलते हैं और अपने काम से काम, ज्यादातर अपने काम से ही काम रखते हैं, और जो उन्हें करना होता है वो कर जाते हैं, और जिसमें उनका इंटरेस्ट होता है और जिनमें थिएटर के लिए बहुत कुछ करते रहे हैं. तो ये नहीं है कि टेलीविजन पे नहीं आते हैं, इसका मतलब है कि शो बिजनेस से आउट हैं, ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं है. वो अपनी थिएटर में और अपनी प्रोडक्शन में वो हर वक्त कुछ ना कुछ करते रहते हैं, बिजी रहते हैं. तो आई थिंक बीगुल ने जब ये स्क्रिप्ट लिखा तो उन्होंने कहा कि मैंने खालिद साहब को जहन में रखा हुआ है कि ये खालिद साहब ही रोल करेंगे. तो ये तीनों आपके सामने है. आई विश बीगुल वाज हियर.
Welcome to the Mosaic International South Asian Film Festival. Welcome to MISAFF. Khush Amdeed, Jiayanu. Thank you for bringing your beautiful film, Intezaar, to our film festival. We are so lucky to have such high caliber artists from Pakistan gracing our virtual Q&A today. I'll bring it to Shaila now. Shaila Khan, tell us how you felt when you saw the film, because you remember how emotional I was.
Oh my God. It touched my heart, and it's a story that every person, be it South Asian or from any other community who's close to their family, goes through it. I've seen my grandparents' relationship, the way Samina ji and Khalid Ahmed's relationship was. Then I've seen how my mother and my grandmother were when she got sick, and the way Kef looked after her parents, and when you ask for the son to come back, and that whole quotient, and especially the actor who played the nurse, he was amazing. So it was very emotional. It touched my heart, and I said yes, this has to be at a festival.
Thank you.
That's so beautiful. So Sakina ji, I think that it's incredible that you have managed to make a feature. Is this your first feature as a director?
It is.
So kudos to you, because it is so mature. It is so mature in its language and its storytelling and in the way that you have directed your actors. And of course, Bigul has written a marvelous script. So I think that's one thing that is very evident but the way that you pulled the performances and made them so relatable is extremely, extremely commendable. And also that you are making actually what is essentially feminist cinema in a very patriarchal culture. How did you come up with this idea of making this film? Tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, Arshad, आपने देखा होगा in the beginning, the film I have dedicated to my late mother. So that says a lot. It's not there just for fun or just there, but purposely this film belongs to my late mother because I wanted to do something different, and with I don't know, I have this from the very beginning. I was very inspired by my mother because I wanted to be like her, and then when I joined TV, I was 16 years old. So my mother said one word, बिल्कुल मर्दों की तरह काम करना. So I became a mard. So I never felt that I'm a woman or he's a man. I mean, we are just all. I'm sorry, but I just see everybody as a human being. I have this special thing in my heart for my senior citizens or my senior colleagues, and I get along with them very well. Samina Ahmed is witness to this. I love her. I love Usma Appa. I love Khalid Sahab. All that. I mean, मेरे अपनी उम्र के लोगों से कभी नहीं बनी. Either younger or the older. So there is one actress, and she's been treated very badly. I will not name her, but she's been treated very badly, very malicious way by her daughters and by her family. I saw her, I spoke to her, and I was very touched by her, you know. So I said, what can I do for her? Then I went to Beagle. I discussed with Beagle. I want to film about this woman, or main lead she'll be. So then Beagle came up with this. I was like with a vague idea, but she came up with a clarity. She said, I have these characters in my mind because Beagle also inspires herself by the surroundings, by real characters. So this Samina Ahmed Sahab's character it's a real character, and someone in her family. So she was inspired by that character. I think her puppo or someone close to her. So she came up with this brilliant script, and a script was with me for 2 years. When the time, you know, जब time सही होता है, फिर आपकी कोई चीजें जो है हर चीज अपनी अपनी जगह पे आ जाती हैं. Then I went to Samina Ahmed. हम लोग मेरी दोस्ती है समीना अहमद के साथ. When I was in Karachi, मैं चाय के लिए गई समीना के पास. समीना ने को मैंने कहा I want to make film. ये स्क्रिप्ट जो है मेरे पास है. 2 आइडियाज हैं. क्या करना चाहिए? कौन सा करना चाहिए पहले? ये करना चाहिए या ये करना चाहिए? तो आई थिंक समीना सेड, क्योंकि समीना दोनों स्क्रिप्ट में समीना का कैरेक्टर था, लेकिन मैंने कहा आप बताएं पहले कौन से वाले के लिए जाएं. मैं बड़े मशवरे लेती हूँ लोगों से, ये नहीं कि अब सिर्फ जो मेरे दिल में आया मैं कर लूं. तो समीना ने कहा go for this one, Beagle's script, make this one first. So then Samina said, I said क्या करें हम, किस तरह बनाएं? उन्होंने कहा कि मैं तो नहीं पैसे लूंगी, एक्टर्स दूसरे भी जो हैं वो तुम्हारे साथ जो है वो करेंगे, क्या कहते हैं, कंसेशन करेंगे या जो भी करेंगे, just go for it. And we just started from nothing. और फिर उसके बाद जो है ये फिल्म जो है पोस्ट प्रोडक्शन के लिए इस्तांबुल पहुंच गई, लेकिन एक्टर्स ने बहुत साथ दिया. आई थिंक इन्होंने दिल लगा के जितने दिन भी हमने शूट किया, दे ओन्ड इट. उनको पता था कि ये फिल्म जो है वो इंटरनेशनल सर्किट के लिए जाएगी, क्योंकि ये बॉलीवुड शशका नहीं है. तो लेकिन आई डोंट नो दे बिलीव्ड इन मी और दे डिडंट, बट वो अपने कैरेक्टर्स में रहे. आई वाज वेरी क्लियर इन माय विजन, आई वाज वेरी क्लियर इन माय टारगेट एंड माय पाथ दैट आई वांट टू गो देयर, आई टेक माय फिल्म देयर. सो एनीवे, so Khalid Saab and Kaif फिर पीगुल ने कहा कि कैफ एंड खालिद साहब एंड ये सारे लोग वी गॉट टुगेदर एंड हमने शुरू कर लिया. बहुत सादा सी फिल्म है, लेकिन ये है कि क्योंकि इमोशंस और काफी सेंटीमेंट्स हैं इसमें फिल्म में, तो इसीलिए आई थिंक इट्स एंड इट्स रिलेटेबल एज शैला सेड. रिलेटेबल है, जिस किसी ने भी देखी है फ्रॉम फेस्टिवल्स, उनके जाहिर है घर में किसी न किसी के माँ बाप सब कुछ है, कोई ना कोई है, किसी न किसी के साथ ही ऐसा हो चुका है. It's very it's a universal film, इसलिए you can't put it in one culture. क्योंकि these characters, they live everywhere. They are everywhere, these kind of characters.
The film is very relatable. The fact is that you are a very good director, and a director's job is to seek advice from everywhere and then to make a decision according to what they feel is best, which is exactly what you have been doing. And also, the director's job is to inspire, which you have done very well. And you can see the love.
Sorry, I have inspired them. I said, we are going to the Oscars. We are going here. We are going there. Samina Ahmed knows this. But I must add this. I was very happy when Khalid Ahmed Sahab won an award in New York in Harlem Film Festival. And they said, your film is, they wrote to me email, they said, your film is very powerful and your actors, they did brilliant job. All of them.
They really did a brilliant job. And you say that your film is simple, and it's true. It is a simple story, but there's a lot of complexity in the film. And I think that complexity has been brought in and highlighted through the performances. So I would like to go next to Khalid Sahab. How did you feel when you read this script, and what motivated you, Khalid Sahab and Samina ji, to work on this script? How did you get into it?
Well, as you know, it is beautiful, very sensitively written script, and it gives you an insight into human relations, insight into old age and middle age and young age, and how the three different ages interact with each other, and all the problems of those interactions. So it's a complex film in terms of its ideas, and at least in Pakistan, there are not very many roles that can be offered to a man of my age. The kind of roles that we are offered are very limited and boring and stilted. So I have almost, in fact, stopped doing television for years now. So it's very seldom that good roles come our way. And this was one opportunity. This was a role that had multiple layers. This is a role that had depth, that had meaning. It could sort of, you can probe into human character and show facets of human character which are perhaps more than appears on the surface. So that's what interested me.
And what about yourself, Samina ji?
I found it to be a challenging role. I hadn't done this kind of a thing ever before. So it was challenging. And but I got the inspirations. You sometimes are looking at people around you, where you draw your inspiration from. And my mother had been very ill, and she had passed away recently. So I was sort of looking towards her as to to build on that character. So there were some aspects which I thought were, which reminded me of my mother. With quite a few things in the film which reminded me of my mother. And so it was to me, it was rather an emotional kind of a thing to be going through the same kind of a situation which my mother had gone through. But but I mean, having said that, I thought that it was beautifully written. All the characters, all the situations, and how they interact are very well written. And well, we tried to do whatever the best we can with Sakina's help, and she really put her heart to it, and she was very deeply involved in the film and what is happening and how to get it the way that she saw it.
Yeah. And, Shala, you were going to ask something?
No, yeah, I just wanted to ask Samina ji because I've always been impressed with her acting. I mean, I loved her in her drama series, which was Sono Chanda and Kashf. I mean, Kashf was amazing, and she's always been, like she's come across as a spitfire actress, and it was so delicate and muted in the acting for Intezar. It was like literally, it felt like waiting. It just felt like everyone's waiting for something to happen. She's waiting for. How did she bring out that emotion?
I can't say how. I somehow feel you see it's there in the script. You have to find things in the script and just do it. I mean, I don't analyze as to how things happen. When you are acting, you draw your inspiration from some place, you dwell into all what you have learned over the years, and then you show it and you do it, and your director says okay or says no, you need a little more something to it, and that's how it happens.
Well, this thread of loss and of belonging, of your place in society, all these things, I think Beagle writes them very well.
Yes.
She shows this complexity in such a way that you're really able to understand.
Yeah.
And I think actors are able to really feel what their role is, even through her writing. And then, of course, that's brought out with the direction. Kath, what brought you to the project?
So for me, I think it was pretty like Sakina said, it is a very relatable script because everybody goes through such experiences. You see your parents, you see your I mean, so I'm from a family where I've also lived with my great grandmothers also. So I've seen my grandmother take care of their paternal and maternal side of the family, and then my mother took care of my grandmother. And now that responsibility I'm taking over. So it's like a genetic and visual code and ethics that kind of gives you a lot of education, basically, in how to react in certain conditions, or in the condition that you've seen which arises within the film. So it was quite interesting to keep on going back and using that archive from my memory to react to whatever was happening. I think what was interesting was, and there was this very big debate that also went. There was a talk of having some kind of a romance between the nurse and the daughter. And I remember I was really anxiously waiting. Maybe Sakina could really play on that, and I would really like to experience that kind of a situation as well. And I'm sure Khalisa was also pretty much positive about it. But I think it just never we were more invested into the emotional side of how the parents and how the son and how the daughter's son, all these people who are so in a web like a situation are threaded together. and also they're not very. There's no clarity of what's going to happen. So this kind, I mean, I'm to my heart wrenching. The romance kind of got pushed back.
But
But
he's such a beautiful actor. I
my
can
God, he's
totally
handsome. I
understand.
wish he was here. Raza is totally
He's so
handsome. Chap is
handsome,
so,
and he
yeah,
really plays his role so well. And I kudos
yes,
to the director for casting a handsome, understated, kind, gentle man who is
yeah, yeah.
really a contrast to the toxic male representation that usually takes place in our dramas, in our media in Pakistan. So kudos to creating beautiful men. And also the father's character has a great arc as well, an arc of learning. I mean, the film made me very emotional at many points, but also it is so funny. I laughed so much, and I think that's so cleverly done that you make us laugh and you make us cry, and that extremity really like pulls you through the film and keeps the film so interesting all the time. Tell us a little bit about the comedy. How did you manage that? Because it's hard to make people laugh, but you all managed.
Well, comedy is best played when you're not trying to play comedy. You
Well said.
try to play a situation, and the situation is comic, seen from the eyes of the audience. So, uh, it's, for instance, this both these old people, myself and my wife. Um, what is brilliant is that their relationship itself, in a way, is also comical. They live in their house, but they think that they are in some old home, and the wife does not recognize or acknowledge the husband. And the husband, who had not been very fair to the wife in the early decades, has now in this old age fallen in love, and now proposes to his own wife because she does not recognize him as a husband. So it's comical, it's sad, it's sweet, it's cute, it's lovable. Also, there's a certain kind of love affair that is going on.
Well, I think it's so interesting that in just using four characters, five actually, including the brother, we have a microcosm of actually all of Pakistan, I would say,
Also,
the middle class, and you've got the class struggle going on, but then also the reflection of the generations, right? Like the son who comes from America, he is very much like we can imagine how the father must have been. He has that arrogance and that invincibility that we give when we spoil our male children, that we give them. And I think, Sakina, would you like to address how you brought him down to earth in your treatment of the film? Because I really liked how you treated that. I mean, it bothered me so much that the sister isn't talking. It was like, oh, say something. But then you're trying to represent reality, and in her silence, there's so much that she's saying.
Yeah. She says a lot with her silent expression. And Khalid Saab is sitting on the settee in the room when this guy, his son, he's saying blah, 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 and he's getting angry at Ruby. And Khalid Saab didn't have any dialogues. So he just had to sit there and listen to his rubbish. So Khalid Saab was a little bit uncomfortable because he said, because no dialogue, nothing. And, he's like, he's unfairly, he's arguing with the sister and he's proving that, this. So now he comes after 15 years and from nowhere and dictating us. So Khalid Saab was like very keen to say something. But there was no dialogue as Beagle written it. Khalisa was just sitting there like this and, getting upset, but not showing it. And that made a lot of difference. I could see on a screen, because that expression, at that time, we didn't feel that, because Khalisa was feeling uncomfortable as well. And I felt, uncomfortable at my actor is not comfortable. I get really uncomfortable when actors are a bit uncomfortable. So anyway, but in the film, you have seen it, because they haven't seen this film yet.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Oh my goodness.
That expression, Khalisab's expression says it all.
Yes. It really does.
Yeah. So
it really does.
Yeah.
And,
so that's why he got the
that's your
award.
sensitivity. Yeah. That's exactly right. You directed him very well.
I must add as well that Samina Ahmed was very, very charged up for this character. She saw this in this character, that there is something to, play with it. So cleverly, yeah. So I think she was from the very beginning, we started shooting till the end. She was really into her character and charged up. So, and they nailed it, because Kaif is such a brilliant actress, and her body language, and I have seen many times.
Really
but whenever I see it again, I don't get bored. People get bored with watching, many times.
Yeah.
But my daughter, without grading, my daughter, she watched it without sound and grading. She cried. And I said, why did you cry? She said, yeah, that old man, he died. And, she didn't go to get to see her son. So see, so relatable that it touches you. And these are the actors, because they are on the screen. It is written very well, but if the actors are not, up to the mark, then a good screenplay can be screwed up.
That's exactly right.
So the whole credit, it is written well, but I think I give more credit to my actors, because everyone, they don't say that, script is very well written. They say their actors are very good, because you are watching actors. Of course, lines are very good, but it was there something to perform. So, and in the end, they, nailed it. So I was very happy, because I want them to see the film as well. I think soon I will send them the link. So, so yeah.
Well, the thing is, there are two things here. First of all, you have the unique position of being in front of the camera most of your life, and now behind the camera. So you have a particular sensitivity and understanding for actors and directing actors that others do not have. So that's one thing. And secondly, the script is a blueprint. It's the foundation. And as Shaila will tell you, her and I watch so many hundreds of films from Pakistan. Always the problem is there's, scripts are so bad, And so when you have a good script to work with, then your team comes together. And I think, then with great direction, great actors, I mean, that's a winning combination, And so kudos to your entire team. They've done very well. Now tell me, also, I also really enjoyed the cinematography. It's quite nice. Will you tell us about the technicals of your film a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, Mirza Mahmood is very, very old cameraman. He's a friend of mine again. And so I know him. He knows my vision as well. And I know that he has this thing in artistic thing in him. Even though my next film, I want to bring DOP from abroad, but I will still keep him with me. So I love him so much, and I love his work as well, because his framing is really very good. Nobody in Pakistan has framing like Mirza Mahmood. Everybody knows. And he's very good with lighting as well. So, and he uses minimum lights as well. So, yeah, so that's why he was there. And he knew that we are going low budget. So that's why, again, he was my friend. So he wanted to do this. And So yeah, it went well. I mean, again, I would say it's a simple film and a little outdoor, but whatever we have, we just, whatever it was in our power to do it, we did. I mean, we didn't leave any, So yeah, again, credit to DOP and my actors. And luckily, I got a post-production team in Turkey. So they were
Listen, the sound is
involved.
great. The film has very good sound, and the ADR you did, that's one of the things also that I noticed, that you can hear dialogue very well. So that's quite nice to see that.
Clarity, yeah. You see, clarity was there. So, yeah, although they didn't understand the language, they were reading the subtitles, but they loved it. They loved the film. So we've been really lucky, and we got to.
Is your film going to Turkey?
Sorry.
Is your film going to Turkey?
It was. I mean, I did the post-production.
No. Is the film going to Turkey to a festival?
Oh, I did manage to, but I think some festivals are left. I'll try.
Yeah. Your film should go everywhere. Absolutely. Now, the thing is that, I mean, I'm really shocked to hear that your actors haven't seen your film yet, their film yet. I mean, that's.
I wanted to.
I know COVID, because of COVID.
Not even Beagle.
Yeah, but because of COVID, I can understand. Yeah.
No, I said it was supposed to release in Pakistan in March, and then this COVID thing happened, so we had to postpone it. And since then, the film has gone traveling around the world. Film came to you as well. So then I didn't have any chance. I came back to UK, and then I deliberately didn't want them to see the film. I wanted them to see in cinema. So, but that.
So true. Yeah, I can see as a director.
I mean, it still is going to happen after COVID. Film is going to be released in Pakistan.
And what's next for you all? I would like to ask all of you. What's happening next? What's your next project coming?
I'll start with myself. I'm working on my other script, next film, and I have acting job as well. So hopefully I'll finish that, and then I'm working on my next film, pre-production. So yeah, I've been like busy with that, and Intezaar is like finished now. So.
Well, Intezaar is traveling.
Sorry to get. I would love to work with these actors again and again and again and again, because we are a team. I think it's not my film alone. I wouldn't have done anything. So it's our film, not my film. It's our film. And when you know the actors in and out, and you know their temperament, so you would like to. I'm not 20 years old or 30 years old. I should go from one actor to another and, experimenting. I can't experiment in this age. So I'm very routine person. So I would like to work again and again with same actors, because they give you comfort. It's a comfort zone. So why not? And they are talented, and they are, they deliver everything. So why not? Woody Allen say you just have to, cast. Sorry, mentioning Woody Allen, but he says, I heard his quote saying, he says, you have to cast good actors, and you don't need to do anything.
That's right.
So
Casting
good actors,
is so
they,
important.
take so much burden off. Although this actor, Ali Raza, was Raza Ali, he's a new actor. But he did very well with these giants, with 3 very good actors, and he did really well, this guy.
Yeah.
The nurse,
absolutely.
Shaila's favorite.
I
Handsome nurse.
I know, but Sakina ji, really, you and Kef and Samina ji, I think you're an inspiration because as Arshad can testify, we go to a lot of festivals, we see a lot of films, and we've
Of
always
course.
always been at a pain to try to promote the Pakistani film industry. I mean, like I remember when I moved to Toronto, what about 8 years ago, Arshad? Yeah, and we were talking about Pakistani film, and like he said, bad scripts, and then we had Zindabad, which just came, and
Yeah.
you're also an inspiration for women of my age or even younger or even youngsters who want to make films but don't have the budget or don't have someone supporting them, or they don't know where to go. And I think this is what is happening, is that people are taking inspiration and saying, no, if you can do it, why can't we come and make good stories? And people internationally are recognizing a Pakistani film versus a Bollywood film now.
Yeah. I mean, that's really credit goes to good filmmakers who are like not still, they are clinging on to this thingy, although everything was deteriorating. But they didn't throw the towel. I did not throw the towel. I said, no, I will work. Whatever I know, I should be working. I have everything to offer. As I was saying to Arshad, why not? We have everything to offer. We have experience. We have wisdom, we have knowledge, we have exposure in the industry. I mean, I'm talking about the filmmaking. Making. So why not? If you're not making, then you are making a crime. Then God will ask you, what did you do? I gave you this, all these things. Did you use it? So I'm going to apply all these things and make my kind of films. And I'm sure if I'm here, Ashad is also there. I mean, you are there. So there are people who will support your film. You don't need to, if I can't make, I'm not saying Bollywood films and these films are bad, because there is audience for them. I mean, 80% of the world, they watch these kind of things. I was watching on Netflix, there's a Turkish series. I'm promoting that series seriously because nowadays, in this commercial race, if you make something artistic offbeat and then you are like calling the audience, just watch it, watch it, watch it, and then you don't get rating, then it's go down the, drain, all the mehnat gone. So I'm really supporting and promoting this series, because this series should people watch it so they can make the second season. It's called Ethos. You will really, Ashad, you must watch this series. It's Turkish series on Netflix. I was really blown away, so relatable. So I said, oh
Well, the
my
fact
God,
is that Turkish cinema is outstanding, and we have a lot to learn from Turkish cinema, as we have from Iranian cinema,
Iranians, yeah.
or even cinema of Afghanistan or North Africa, or I mean, there's great work there, and we are never exposed to it in Pakistan, and I think that's quite a shame. And I think that Pakistan has a lot of potential, as you said. And I think that feminist stories, intimate stories, personal stories, these need to be uplifted and they need to be seen and shown and celebrated. Shala, you had a question for Samina ji?
No, this is what I was saying because, as Pakistanis internationally who live abroad, we see films from Pakistan that show the bad side or maybe the depressing side of the Pakistani life, right? And this was something, like I said, relatable, that a person who's from Canada, a person who's from North America will relate to it. And it was really a pleasure to see a film which told about a human story, not depressing, not the bad side or terrorism. And you're right, the technical wise, it was very good, especially the last scene where the mother and the daughter and are there, and the shot of the beautiful lake which is there. But what I wanted to know was Sakina ji and Khalid, because I know Khalid ji teaches at Napa as well, and there are a lot of young talent coming out, whether be they actors or filmmakers. is there a place for them or a way for them to be groomed to come into the industry? Are they like, like in Canada, you have places where they read your scripts, they groom you for making a proper script to pitch to television or to film. Is there a way that is happening now in Pakistan in that film industry with experienced
Um,
people?
One thing I would like to say, this boy, what's
Raza.
Raza, is also a Napa student. So he's a Napa product. I can proudly say that. Uh, no, there's no process and opportunity of these potentials being groomed by through any series of workshops or anything. I don't think that there's any such opportunity available so far in Pakistan. And
Well,
like
actually, there are some
you
film
pointed
festivals that
out
offer.
repeatedly, script is the biggest problem of our film industry. Film script is where I think technically we can come up to the mark and other things can happen. But a good script is missing. And like a great actor had said, that there's no concept of good acting without a good script. There simply cannot be good acting in a bad script.
Yeah.
Very well said.
It's the problem of our cinema.
And what's next for you, Samina ji?
Well, next what? Nothing right now. I mean, no film in the offing, but I'm doing television work.
Oh, okay, wonderful, wonderful. And how's the COVID situation how affecting you all? Also, Kath, I also want to ask you.
Uh, COVID situation is not so good. For some time, we were not doing any work at all. Then, people my age were not doing anything, but then we were also doing things which were, I would say, a bit of a compromise, because you had to change the scene so that you are not very near each other. And yeah, it was, and it still is like that, you see, because, and people are, I must say that all the producers and the directors and the crew is very, very careful with people who my age, if they are on the set.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, in Canada, we have very strict guidelines for our telefilm and regarding safety on set. And, I was actually working as an actor, a very small bit role in a feature film in Toronto. And they had very strict protocol. You had to get tested, you had to be isolated, and then you had to wear your mask at all times, unless, of course, you are in the scene and just before a take. And so that was very, the regulations are very clear and they're very quite good, I think, in this difficult time. And now, Kath, what's up? What's next for you?
Well, I'm basically on a 6-month break because I feel kind of spent after doing so much. I'm a multidisciplinary person, so I think resting is very important right now at this moment of my life. I was heading the media studies department at Ikra University for the past year. And so during the COVID situation, when COVID happened, it was a very huge challenge for us to take everything online, especially the classes which were practical. So that involved photography and cinematography and direction. And so there was a huge call for all these out of the box way of getting the message across to these students who are basically, asking us what's next, because that was for those people who were graduating that semester. the spring semester, it was very difficult for them to cope with the situation because they couldn't make the films. And so we had to come up with ways of them using low budget, low cost equipment and come up with stuff that was um, uber challenging and on an maybe not I mean international level hopefully, but we got there to a point, but then we're not really there. So and then so it really kind of made me think about how Sakina was working on the set with all these people with no budget and with the minimum of faculties and technical help. And I thought she did a great job with just focusing on emotions and focusing on framing and focusing on light, natural light, organic light. And I think that's something that's really needed for us right now because we're so much harping and basing ourselves on technology and the easy way out with the auto system. There's this DSLR, then we have all these um, stuff with really high-end cameras. That I think somewhere where when the COVID happened, everything had to regress and go back to the cave age, and we had to really see where the education system was taking us in the media field, where the student was not really prepared to even work with maybe a pinhole camera. I think, when as an NCA student, we were taught to use the pinhole camera before we went on to the automatic camera, the DSLR and all that. So we had a sense of light and a sense of framing in just like that organic form. And we did not know what the end product was. And, the student here would just click away 1,000 pictures and then take out the best from there. But this COVID situation really taught me as the head of department how to really focus on this particular genre or discipline to really think in organic manner, basically. So I think that's really needed for so those 6 months off that I have right now, one can actually think about how to apply that particular information that has been.
Well, I have to tell you that even though the COVID situation is giving us a sad, difficult time, personally, family wise, and health wise, but it is also representing a very great opportunity, which is that you can spend this time and you can spread the word about your film and wherever it's going. I think you need to use your social media and you need to use your social power to get the word across the world, around the world. We, as a film festival, we are showing your film and we're going to talk about your film and try to make you all as famous as we can. We're going to do our part and you have to do your part. And we also, MISAFF is in a unique position because when films premiere here, oftentimes a lot of other festivals also pick them up. So just get ready for a cascade of film festival selections and joy all over the world. And you have to now start seeing yourselves as the international artists that you are, because you are really crossing boundaries with your storytelling.
Khalid Saab already is. Sorry, Khalid Saab is already is international star.
Is everybody is.
That's exactly
And I
right.
would like to say that although the award has been given to me, the overall level of acting in the film was very high. So basically, I think the award is for the acting section of the film. I was perhaps chosen as a symbol of for all the actors. But when you have four characters, you have one house, you have a basic, simple script, very few outdoors, then the actors better be good, and the director better be good, and the camera person better be good. Um, there's one thing I would also like to say about this particular experiment is that one of the problems of Pakistani film industry is also that they try to ape Bollywood. Now, I'm not saying that Bollywood is bad. I'm saying they are absolutely brilliant. And even their bad films are technically very, very good. And their good films are very, very good. But we can't be them. We have neither the resources, nor the history, nor the experience to make the kind of films that Bollywood makes.
Words of
Um,
wisdom.
yes, so we have to make what we can make, just like Iran makes what Iran can make and does make, and which sets Iran apart from the rest of the world. So they have found their own identity in the world of films. And if we have to find an identity in the world of films, then we have to see what what kind of films can we actually make, afford to make with our resources, with our cultural background, or with our heritage and everything, and not be, running after this or that, because Bollywood has its own grandeur. It's 100-year-old film industry, and they do brilliant things. I mean, but that's them. We have to, and therefore, an experiment like this, the success of this experiment makes me very, very happy that we are perhaps trying to, find our own niche.
Well, the fact is, Bollywood, the word itself is a derivative of Hollywood, and
Yes,
they do ape a lot of Hollywood, and they are a
yes,
problematic institution because. But the Indian film industry is a much. It's not a monolith. It's much
yes,
larger than Hindi cinema. It's
yes,
much greater. Their Bengali cinema, Marathi, Tamil, you know, Kannada. They have many
no,
languages, and their cinema is very diverse and very strong. Unfortunately, the only things we get in places like Pakistan are the ones that are marketed, and they have the big money to bring those films. And I think that has kind of caused the ruination of our storytelling in a sense as well. But films like yours and shows like Chorales, these are making a difference. They're making a mark, and all of you are pioneers in this struggle to bring Pakistani cinema to the forefront and to bring it internationally. And we wish you a lot of success, and we thank you once again. Myself, Anya McKenzie has joined me. She is the former festival director of MISAFF and now advisory board member of CCAI for MISAFF. And we, on behalf of the Mosaic International South Asian Film Festival, Anya, would you like to say a few words?
I just want to say congratulations to you all, and thank you for sharing your beautiful film with MISAFF. We're very excited to share it with Canadian South Asian audiences and Canadian audiences across Canada here. And these are exciting times for all of you because, as Arshad said, you have the chance now to connect without even traveling over a digital forum and to meet all of us and stay in touch and share your stories.
I was saying earlier, I was thinking I must mention this. Khalid Sahab and Kaif की relationship जो है वो बहुत ही आपस में ना they are very attached. And Khalid साहब कैफ की बेटी के साथ भी बहुत attached हैं. तो already उनकी off screen इतनी chemistry है, इतनी respect और इतना love है for each other. It shows.
That's why I was wondering how come there. It does, and that's why I was like, what are you doing there together in one, sitting in the same place?
They were so comfortable with each other, very comfortable with each other, because I think thank God we casted Kaif, because otherwise I'm not sure. I mean, Khalid Sahib was very comfortable with CAF. They used to rehearse together and support each other. They trust each other's expression, and they knew what was coming, or there was no competition or vulnerability, nothing. And
That's wonderful.
yeah, so it was like a bonus, seriously bonus. So I learned a lot from these guys. I should, because I'm a very emotional person, so I should learn to how to, tone down my expression.
No, you shouldn't. You
Yeah,
are amazing and you are
yeah, yeah.
wonderful,
Thank
and it
you.
is an honor to have you. And thank you for
I
making
want
this
you
beautiful
as well
film.
I want you as well to make films, because you have every
Inshallah.
ingredient to go through this. So you should. I think you should. I always encourage people when I see the spark or see, talented people. I really, with all my heart, I encourage CAF, because CAF is very, very talented and very fast learner, and she wants to she's really an artist. She's not only actress, but she's really, really an artist. I know she wants to do so many things. So she will do it because she wants to do it. And she has all the ingredients in her, So I really I will always encourage her. I'll be there for her. And you should make films as well. And we are like Pakistan mein, these kind of people exist. Their Bollywood watchers are there, good, but there are artistic, sensitive, and they've been there for years. I started with the team like Satyajit Ray Saab. We were all like,
Yes.
yeah, sorry,
We
my
can hear.
battery is going. Yeah, so I was very fortunate to start with people who were students to Shyam Benegal or Satyajit Ray, or they were reading Chekhov, Russian literature. So I was like, gifted. I started my career with those people. So I was like 16 years old, frightened little girl who didn't know anything, just mesmerized by these giants. And they just put me in a swimming pool. I was a non-swimmer, and they were telling me, swim, swim, swim. So I swam, because I wanted to swim. So I learned how to swim. So that's the thing, people, and you were saying about training and polishing new talent. I think every filmmaker, people like you or people like me or the other people as well in Pakistan, they should, Khalid Saab, Samina Ahmed, when she makes, she's also a director producer. We should keep trainees, 2-3 trainees from school or so they can, learn their trade and learn. I would love to, like, if Terence Malick says, I could be third AD or, go running to Terence Malick, because I want to learn and I want to work with him or work like him. So we all should, encourage people to come and, do your part for Pakistan's sake. For this film, I was telling everyone when I went to the hospital for permission, I said, this film is going outside Pakistan, and they will not read, is it Sakina Samo's film? How is Sakina Samo? Nobody. This film is from Pakistan. Plus, they will see the Pakistani films there. You know that, festival people. So, on name of Pakistan, we got the discounts, permissions, you see, and I also emotionally blackmailed these actors. So yes, it was fun, even fun, yeah.
This is so wonderful. It is really, I'm really glad that work is being done and work is being seen. And this kind of, as I said before, feminist storytelling and storytelling that is real, storytelling that appeals to the heart and is sincere and goes across borders. This is very essential for all of us. So thank you for creating this beautiful work. Thank you for coming to MISAFF, Khalid Saab, Kef, Samina ji, Sakina. Beagle is not here, Raza is not here, all those other wonderful people from your team.
Beagle should have been
We want to
here.
thank you. But we just want to thank you and say we love your work. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us. And
Thank you.
please spread the word about MISAFF. MISAFF takes place from the 4th to the 12th of December this year, entirely online. We have 13 feature fiction films, 3 documentaries, and 28 short films for people to enjoy. So thank you once again, and have a
Excellent.
wonderful evening.